Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome to the first ever live tiki session from Kon-Tiki Boat Bar here in Portrush. I have to say that every week when we're recording, and it's a hell of a mouthful. So Ash, it's our first live and it's just us two for the next half hour. What's the crack?
I've had quite a few texts to say, don't drink too much, do not swear, don't let us down, Ash. So I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. I'm so delighted. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, so, you know, let's have a conversation about what the tiki sessions are, because this all came out of a phone conversation one night, and you know, we sort of, neither of us are presenters in any way, shape or form, as everybody can probably tell, but it's been going pretty well, and like some of the people we're talking to, their stories are really interesting and I'm loving it. I hope everybody else is loving it. But what was your idea originally? The
feedback has been amazing. I had this idea, and I ran it past Ricky Martin actually one night, and every night I had this idea, I thought, this is a great idea, and every night I was drinking, I thought it was a great idea. I woke up in the morning, I thought, nah, it's not, it's got no legs. But the whole point for me is to get like-minded, either business people, influencers, I don't know, big characters in the North Coast, and talk about, number one, our love of the North Coast, number two, the challenges of business, because I don't think an awful lot of people talk about that. I mean, people see, it's like the Disney world, like social media, it's all like everything's rosy. It's tough along the way, and there are a lot of failures along the way, and I just wanted people to share that out so that young people starting out on a journey, hopefully young people are watching this, won't be put off when you get a setback and won't be scared to push things forward. So for me, it's almost like a networking thing where we get like-minded, cool people together, have a beer, it's very natural. People tend to relax when they're in a bar set, and we haven't had it for about a year and a bit now, so it's just lovely to sit and have a beer and a chat, basically.
From my point of view, it was great because you phoned me up and you asked me, and I originally thought you were just going to blag a camera crew out of me, and then you asked me would I present it alongside yourself, and I was like, I've never done any presenting at all. But then you're like, yeah, we're going to do it in a bar, and I was like, right, bars have been closed for a year, and it's great, so it is, and I really enjoy it. And I often say, you know, Alan Simpson was our first guest, and a brilliant first guest. His shows sat at nearly 10,000 views or something like that. And Alan used to work for the BBC, and he said, you know, he never interviews anyone, he always has a chat with them, and I think that's what we're now doing.
It's pretty much the most natural thing in the world, although I still get very nervous before them, if I'm being brutally honest, but the people that we have on, like, and the feedback that we're getting from everybody is just amazing. Like the other day I was in Portrush Harbour and someone was like, we're loving the tiki sessions, and it's just cool because we're getting some, like with the recent ones that haven't aired yet, like we've had Paula McIntyre on, we've had Brian Moore on. It's been really, really cool, and they're just lovely people. They're very successful in their own right, but they're really down to earth and there's no egos, and I think that's the common denominator. Like we don't really.
The only egos are us.
No,
we're major celebrities on the North Coast. No, obviously joking, but you know, you're talking there about a few episodes that are going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. We've done 10 episodes. This is our 11th episode. What's been your highlights so far?
It's been a lot of highlights. I've really enjoyed. I've enjoyed everyone. By the way, just in case anyone gets their nose put out, John, I really, really enjoyed everyone for different reasons. I really enjoyed one of the recent ones we filmed with Paula McIntyre. Just with my food and drink background, I think Paula's an absolute force to be reckoned with, and I think she is. She's just a brilliant ambassador for the North Coast region, and like somebody who's just grafted over the years and is very successful in her own right. And I really enjoyed Paula, and I enjoyed Alex Thomas from The Sexton, because she is somebody that had a vision and a dream, and it is just killing it in North America. You're now a Sexton convert. It's one of our biggest selling cocktails.
And I've never drank whiskey. I've never drank whiskey.
It's incredible, and Alex has done a brilliant job. So everybody who's been on, I've really enjoyed, but those are the two standouts for me. What about you?
For me, one that was a big surprise for me was Dave Hamill, because Dave's such a legend around the local area. But the thing that really got me with Dave is that he has become this local celebrity, and he didn't know or realise that he had become a local celebrity, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And anytime I see Dave putting stuff up around the North Coast on Facebook or whatever, it's just a joy to watch, you know. Alex, from Sexton, the same. Really loved her because I actively did no research. And if anybody's watched the Tiki sessions before, my research is pretty slim on most people. I Facebook stalk them for about 10 minutes in the afternoon before we do it. But Alex was great. I actively did no research on her, and she came in, and I think Alex was a wee bit nervous at the start, not as nervous as you because you were having to make her a cocktail, and she's a major player in the whiskey industry. But I think Alex was a wee bit nervous at the start and then eased out, and a lot of our guests are like that. They're a bit nervous and then they ease out, and it goes from being what they think is going to be like an interview to 3 people sat around a bar having a chat, and we forget about all the cameras, which we're going to show you in a minute.
And like for me, I have never been good in front of a camera, but I really enjoy this whole format and the things that we've got in the pipeline. If people keep watching them and keep enjoying them, like we are going to widen the net from the North Coast region and put it out either regionally, as in through the whole of Northern Ireland, or globally. Like, and we're living in a time where we can do it either virtually or whatever. But there's some cool people that I would love to get involved from a drinks point of view. And I'm sure you know plenty of guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from the entertainment industry as well, and from us, for the viewers, what we really are looking is people to share it and to get it out more, you know, and to help us with that. One of the things that's come out from this is, from my point of view, was what we call the Kon-Tiki Tiki Sessions drinking game, which we think should take the world by storm, and maybe you could tell us about that.
I didn't bring this up, by the way. It was you that actually said. So if anybody is a regular of the Kon-Tiki Tiki session, have a wee drink every time Stuart says you know, and you will be in bad nick by the end.
Yeah, this comes down to I blame Claire Johnson for this, the fabulous Claire Johnson. So we're not presenters, as you know, and on Claire Johnson's episode, which was episode 2, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Claire a couple of times said, you know, at the end of the sentence. And if anybody is looking a game to play on a Friday or Saturday night before you go out, watch the 33 minutes of Claire's Tiki sessions, and every time Claire or myself say, you know, take a drink, because I think there's a couple of hundred you knows.
Or if you want to take a drink every time I take a drink, you might end up in
yes,
pretty good nick.
But this was one of the things we wanted to do. We wanted to make it casual. We wanted to make it relaxed. We do make mistakes. This is our first live. Obviously not as polished as the other ones, but there are times that the intro takes us a lot of times to get over the intro, and the one we literally just finished recording 5 minutes ago. And Ash put me off a couple of times at the start, and it's usually Ash makes me muck up.
I know, I'm sorry. Sometimes I think if the lightheartedness for me is something that has to shine through, and most of these people we have on, like the common denominator is the fact that we want to have a pint with somebody. We want to try and just make them feel relaxed, make them feel welcome, and it's somebody that, it's quite often it's people that we want to have a pint with or a drink with, and like for me the lightheartedness, hopefully it's fairly natural. Whilst we aren't professionals, we're fairly natural with each other. Like we're both Port Stewart natives.
And we didn't really know each other that well before we started doing this.
Well, I'm much younger than you, obviously, so that kind of helped.
Yeah, but you've had a hard paper round. But we have known each other to talk to probably for about 20, 30 years. And I would have known your brother Daniel pretty well when I was younger. And we've worked events together. You've worked for me, and we've done various different things at events. But, you know, it's from this, and we actually get on pretty well.
Yeah, it's been great, man. And like, thank you so much. I'll just take this point to say thanks to everybody who has liked, commented, or shared. It's obviously been a weird year for everybody. This is something that was born out of a pandemic, and one of the things that has come along with this, and a really positive thing for me, is I finally got a chance to take on my own bar. With the help of Peter Wilson, kindly, we had a good chat last year, and we have obviously taken over the nostalgic Tiki bar, and as a way of promoting it, we came up with the Tiki sessions, but we also want to engage with the locals and get people more involved with getting back into the Tiki bar, or you know, the old Captain's Bar or boat bar.
It's really funny because my wife Daisy said to me there 2 weeks ago, she's like, so the bar's open, that's the end of the Tiki sessions. I was like, no, and she's like, I thought it was just to promote the opening of the bar. I says, I think we're going to keep running with it, you know. Right, Tiki sessions, how's it put together? What's it look like? I'm going to do a walk around now and show you behind the scenes of the Tiki sessions. So we have, this is the bar behind us here. Ash has got loads of beautiful, nice booths put in, DJ place. We've turned this obviously into a production studio at the moment, so this is not how it usually looks on a Saturday night. Tiki Sessions is filmed usually on 4 cameras. We have cameras all around us in a 360 degree. Ash, let's talk about the bar then. Did anybody, did anyone that was really nice on your opening Saturday night bring you an authentic tiki present?
I got a lovely gift from obviously yours truly here, and you and Daisy bought me this lovely 1950s authentic bamboo flower pot, which is absolutely incredible, and a lovely plant inside. I also, and I have to say, my niece made me the most lovely little thing that we have up here. It's a Hawaiian blessing, and apparently it basically means good wishes for anybody coming through the bar at any time. We've obviously got loads of memorabilia around the bar. We've got lovely masks. Robert down the stairs has given me some cool masks. We've got this big guy here. When you come in the bar, you know why we call him the big guy. And then there's other bits and bobs, and it's just steeped in nostalgia. In the boat bar, everybody has different memories of the boat bar. So I'm so delighted to be able to have done it up and refurbed it and breathed life into what was an iconic venue in this area. So yeah.
Brilliant. And Tyler's obviously behind the camera here at the moment, and I just want to take you over to where they say where the magic happens. So we have Damien over in the corner. If Damien wants to give you all a wave there. That's not a wave, that's a thumbs up. There we go. Damien looks after all our mixing for the events, and he's looking after the live stream and everything tonight. So I'm just going to have a seat again while Ash is actually on his phone. So yes, you know.
Just to keep chatting. Basically, guys, if Tyler can throw over here, one of the things at the Tiki Bar is everything we do is really fresh ingredients, but really premium ingredients. So I've got a lovely range of rums on the top shelf here, a lovely range of tequilas on the top shelf, and then we've got basically Northern Irish gins, effectively. We've got Bombay and Tanqueray, which are the other two. We've got Glendalough, we've got Boatyard, we've got Symphonia, Jawbox, and obviously Hendrix are from Scotland. So we've got a lovely range of gins, and we're trying to nail the basics. We focus on awesome drinks, but better hospitality. So yeah, I'm so delighted to hopefully get you all in at some point over the next wee while.
So
cool.
Ash, how have you found the first opening 2 weeks then?
It has been really good. Obviously I've had a lot of time to think about it. This is like 20 years in the making for me, and I've had a lot of time to think about it. The opening night, there were a few teething issues, but the team of staff that I have in here were incredible, and we all got on. Despite the odd wobble from me, we nailed it, and on the Saturday night it was super smooth. The feedback that I've been getting, very self-indulgently, has been amazing. I've been really impressed with it, and yeah, it's been good.
Well, welcome to a live show.
Welcome to a live show. It's like Philip and Holly make it.
I know. I just went over and whispered in Damien's ear and forgot I had a mic on me, so everybody heard what I said as well. Luckily, it was appropriate, so it was. So we did ask people if they had any questions for us to drop us a DM or whatever, and Sarah asked, how many years have you been working in the drinks industry, and is this the first bar you've ever run?
Yeah, I have. Way back in the day, I started in the bar in the Edgewater Hotel when I was 17, so that's 20 years ago now, unfortunately. But ever since then, I've always wanted to own my own bar, and I've been in various different. The common denominator for me has been spirits and alcohol, and the biggest game changer for me was working for Bacardi Brown-Forman brands. I worked with Graham McNeil, who was amazing, and Ryan McFarlane, two of the best bosses I think I'll ever have. They were incredible, and they taught me an awful lot about various aspects of life, but also the team that Bacardi Brown-Forman had at that time were awesome. It was a company based in Southampton. At the tail end, I was sort of running things in Northern Ireland, but it was incredible. I got to Lynchburg, I got to New Orleans, I got to all over the world and worked with some amazing people, and that's what basically got me into this point. So yeah, about 20 years I've worked in the industry, and this is my first ever bar that I have taken on myself, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I want to make sure that I nail it here first, and then yeah, who knows what's next.
Pinky in the brain, take over the world.
Yeah,
you
exactly,
know.
man.
Ian has asked, what's the vibe in the drinks? Now, I was here on opening Saturday night, and Kiva was playing, and I am not in any way, shape or form. I love my spirits, but I'm not a cocktail drinker. And our previous guest that we were filming about 10 minutes ago, I was telling him that unfortunately when I come here, your mojitos are phenomenal and go down far too well and far too quickly, and you've converted me to your mojitos. So what is the vibe and what are the drinks?
The vibe is really laid back, and I want people to come to a really laid back environment where they can feel comfortable to try new flavors and new products and stuff like that. But I want the service to be 5-star. I'm quite a bit of a perfectionist with regards to hospitality, and I want it to be genuine, old school hospitality. You know yourself, it's all table service in here. People sit down, they've got their booth for 2.5 hours, and they totally relax. I want them to feel comfortable to try new flavors, experience new things, and have a really good time. Get back to that old school hospitality. The vibe of the music is something that I love music, and I really wanted the music to be a big part of the bar. So we've built a purpose-built DJ booth over there. We've bought Technic 1210s, we've got a decent mixer in there, we've got CDJs. So whether it's the old school guys coming in, like over the summer, we have some amazing DJs coming in here, and I can't believe I've got some of them out of the woodwork. But they're going to be like on vinyl. And then we've got the sort of newer guys coming through here on the CDJs, but it's all going to be quite eclectic, funk, soul, nice Balearic chilled out vibes, but it's going to take everybody on a journey once they come in here. Without sounding too cliched.
The Saturday night I was in, Big Wednesday was playing on the TV, which is one of my favourite surfing films, and one of the girls in the booth next to us was up asking the DJ Kiva, would she play Westlife?
Yeah.
Will there be any Westlife played in the bar?
No, and thank God Kiva said no. But yeah, we've got in the background, we've got skating videos, BMX, and old school like Endless Summer and Big Wednesday, all those sort of old school classics.
Have you got Hammer Time yet off Pete Stewart?
No, Pete, you need to get me that, by the way. It was on VHS. I do have it on video, John Frog, if you're watching, but I remember buying that off you boys years ago, but I need to get it converted. It's probably an easy enough thing to do, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll get you sorted for that. So, obviously with COVID times you have to book. How do you go about booking to get in?
So yeah, I think with COVID times, and I think moving forward we're always going to book, because I just want to make sure that people know they're getting their slot and there's no queuing and there's no fannying about. So you can either message Kon-Tiki on Facebook Messenger, is probably the easiest way to get me, or message me directly, or you can phone the hotel on 02870 826611. Jackpot.
And you're really proud that you remembered that.
I can barely remember my
I'm
name,
sat
isn't
here
it?
going, I hope that's wrong,
No,
because that'll be really
probably is wrong.
embarrassing.
So yeah,
you know?
Google it before you phone them, basically.
Exactly. And now you've told everybody that if they message on Facebook Messenger, it's you personally that replies.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing with, you know yourself, when you're running a small business, and there's people, just anybody that's out there, without going off and one on a live video, if I haven't got back to you on a Friday or Saturday night, I'm probably behind the bar, and I've put on a message there, but there was a particular lady who got quite hot under the collar. She had emailed me on Instagram at 6 p.m. on a Sunday night and was raging that I hadn't got back to her by 9 o'clock that night. And I was thinking, you know, chill out, lady.
Exactly. If I can say anything about hospitality reopening, is whenever you go out, it's been extremely hard for the people that work in the hospitality industry, and go out and enjoy yourselves, but tip your servers, whether it's in this bar or a restaurant or any other bar across the UK or the world, wherever you are. Look after your waiting staff and tip them and thank them at the end of the night, because they work incredibly hard and they work really antisocial hours. And what you have to remember is, while you're out having a good time, they're working. Okay, so, you know, do tip them, and I think that's one thing that, you know...
I'm not asking for tips, but I would like... I've been really lucky. The people that have been coming in here have been brilliant, but I do know there's an awful lot of pressure on frontline staff at the minute to nail everything perfectly. And we're all human at the end of the day, and it's tough. It really is tough. I think it was last week was Anthony Bourdain Day, and there's a lovely quote, but I'm not going to try and rhyme off the quote here. I barely remembered Kelly's phone number, but... if anyone is basically like tipping your server, go into a bar at 4 o'clock, order a Negroni, order 2 Negronis, go and do something different, stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone, and just experience the lovely hospitality that isn't just crammed into between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. at night.
And I think as well, Ash, you'd probably agree that if somebody comes to your bar or any restaurant and they enjoy it, use social media to tell people, because social media a lot of times now is used for negativity. But use it to tell people that they've had a good night and they've enjoyed it.
Without a doubt, like we're all, I mean, there's a stat there to say that, like, if you have a bad experience, you tell 9 people, but if you have a good experience, you tell 2 people or 3 people or something. And
100% of stats are made up on the spot as well.
I think that's definitely one of them. It might have been. But yeah, like, so it's been good, but obviously hospitality is on its knees. Live music's obviously coming back, but go easy on the hospitality staff, because we're all struggling and it is a bit of a push. for a lot of employers and employees just to find their feet after the weird year that we've just had.
And the Kon-Tiki bar is really good if you're coming to Kelly's for a meal. Get booked in before your meal or get booked in after your meal. You have 3 sittings in a night.
Ideally for me, so we've 2 hours, we've 5 to 7:15. So then you can hopefully go downstairs and have dinner and then book a cabana out in the Kelly's Village afterwards. Or there you've got 7:30 to 10:15. Ish. And then you can go down the cabanas or whatever and have dinner down before we come up. And then the final session's between 10 and close, and that's when the DJ ambient levels will get you pumped at the minute, but hopefully that'll start coming back soon.
Brilliant, happy days. Great.
Cool. So a couple of questions for you, Stuart. Obviously, I know everything about Rawee, and I'm really happy to be our uniforms are made with Rawee, or Rawee. So Alison has messaged in. So where did the idea of Rawee come from?
Okay. Well, there's 3 of us in Rawee. Rawee started off as one person, and then a good friend of mine, Ryan, and he phoned me up one night, and it's like the whole pandemic was getting everybody down, and everybody was like, just want to do something fun, you know. And this was during whenever we were fully locked down. And
had you not even thought about it before then?
Well, we hadn't thought about Rawee, but we had each individually thought that we wanted to do something like Rawee.
Right. Okay.
And he came to me, and it actually blew my mind that he was having similar thoughts to me. And he came along, and we're talking about names, and we're just like, right, well, we want to do a t-shirt company, you know, and it would be great to do something like that. And he came along, and we were talking about names, and I came up with some atrocious names. I mean, stuff that at that moment in time, and this is like whenever we spoke to Mark Conley, and we were saying that, you know, your wife behind you gives you, you know, holds you back or tells you that's a good idea. My wife was like, you are not calling your company Homie. And I was like, yeah, I know, mate, it's so bad. I even think about it now and cringe. But so yeah, Ryan was basically like, yeah, let's do this. And we started looking into it. And then one of my friends is a web designer. And he's also one of the Red Bay Lifeboat guys for the RNLI. Absolute hero and all-round nice guy. And I phoned him up and says, listen, we need a holding page put up on our web address. And me and Ryan were going to build our own, you know, e-commerce shop. None of us with any website building experience, never mind e-commerce. And I said, Darren, listen, what's it going to cost to help us out with this? And he says, I don't want to charge anything. I want to become part of the company.
Nice.
Because from talking to him, he had seen what we wanted to do. So Darren came on board, and I have to say, probably the best decision me and Ryan made was to say, yeah, come on board. The interesting thing was Ryan and Darren had never met each other, and the first time they actually met each other face to face because of the pandemic was 6 weeks after we launched the company.
Wow.
6 weeks after we went live. Now we obviously had Zoom meetings and launch night. We had a Zoom party to launch it, and launch night blew our minds. But yeah, Darren and Ryan, the first time was 6 weeks after we actually launched the company.
That's nuts. And here, where did the name come from? What does it mean, or what is the crack of it? There's 2 stories of the name. So there is, the first story is that it stands for Raw Eco Energy. Just go with that, I like that.
Go with that, exactly. The second story is the real story, and it's actually Ryan, whenever he was younger, his brother, I think it was, wasn't able to say his name right and called him Rawee. I think that's what the story is, and that's where it came from. And I ended up sitting playing on the computer one day, and I do graphic design sometimes and stuff like that, and I was playing with the name and came up with the logo and the orange of the logo, and I sent it out to the guys, and I went, guys, just playing about, what do you think of this? And everybody that we sent it to went, that's a really cool logo, it's a really nice logo, it's got a really cool surf vibe to it, skate vibe, it's got that real sort of nice 80s retro look to it as well, and that's really where it came from.
Without a doubt, man. For me, it's like the old school, nostalgic 80s kind of vibe that I really like about it. Like the fact that you've got a t-shirt with the Danger Don't Bathe Near the Rocks in Port Stewart. there's people contacting me to try and get them in like North America. It's
Yeah.
fucking cool. Obviously, it's a weird time to be doing anything, but to be doing it for the first time, how did you find the process of starting up a business?
Crazy, because we were obviously going with an idea rather than having experience in the industry. None of us have worked in the clothing or fashion industry before, and we spoke to people that we knew, and that this is something that comes up in the Tiki sessions a lot, that people on the North Coast that are in the same industries as us and yourself do not mind if you pick up the phone and say, can we come across and have a chat? So the first person we went and spoke to was Pete Stewart, because Pete has done thongs and did it phenomenally well. And as you know, everything Pete touches turns to gold. And he's such a nice guy. And I phoned him up and says, Pete, any chance we could come across and have a chat? And then that stage, we were going to order everything from China and so on and so forth. Spoke to Pete and we came away and went, right, we need to rethink everything we're doing. And then we spent a good 2 months working on designs, getting t-shirts through. We were originally going to go with a full vegan-friendly range of garments, and we got the t-shirts, and literally they were as thin as a piece of tissue paper.
Yeah.
There was no quality in them, and yes, we loved the fact that they were vegan-friendly, but we just knew if we sold them, we would get inundated with complaints, if you know what I mean, because of the quality. So we spent a lot of time, and then we were spending a lot of time on how we're going to get them printed, whether it's going to be direct to garment, whether it's going to be HTV, whether it's going to be screen printing. And we were learning as we were going along, and we were meeting new people, and we were working with new people. And it just, after a period of time, we just got a really nice mix. And then we set our launch date for January, and then our garment supply factory in England, one person got COVID in it and shut the whole factory down. And that put us back by 6 weeks. And at that stage I was going, oh, come on. And the problem, not the problem because it's great, but every week it seemed that another North Coast clothing, surf clothing company was opening. And I have to say, and I'm being honest, and the guys, you know, it's not often brands mention other brands, but the guys from Gonzo and the guys down at Lost and Found and the guys at Carpe Diem and Curo and all of them, what they do, and Basalt 6 with Ross and Nigel, that, you know, what they're doing is all their stuff's awesome, but it's all different. So it is, you know, and the way I look at it is there's enough space for everybody, because nowadays it's not just we want to sell t-shirts and garments and hats and stuff like that in Portshire, Portrush and Korea, and we can sell worldwide. And we sort of have fallen into the niche of we're the bright, stupid, fun, geeky,
cool.
you know,
that's
and
exactly where you want to be.
And that's it. And we don't take ourselves too seriously either.
And I mean, if you think about the amount of t-shirts that are imported from China, let's say, for example, or India, and there is definitely enough space, there's enough piece of the cake for you guys all to kill it. And it's brilliant to see some innovative local, and I think that's the thing, we've always talked about how we want to promote each other, and I think there's enough space for everybody. But sorry, Jim has asked, what's your sorry, he's asked 2 questions. What's your best selling item and how's the kids range doing?
Okay, best selling item was when we first launched. So we had a business plan, and our business plan for the first 6 months was to sell X amount of items. And we did I came up with the idea of doing a pre-launch. And the idea of the pre-launch was we would launch the company and everything would go on sale, but nothing would be posted until 2 weeks after the launch date. So I came up with that idea, 1, to get us a bit of money in, and 2, in fingers crossed, if things went well, was to make sure that we weren't overwhelmed with orders and we were able to get everybody their orders when we say we could. Yeah. And we were never so glad we did that. We did our 6-month plan in the first 3 weeks. So we did, which A, scared us because we were like, holy crap, like, but B, blew us away as well. So whenever we first launched our North Coast Native t-shirts, which I think you're wearing one tonight, available on the website and also in the White House in Portrush, it sold awesomely. The strand, Don't Bathe Near the Rocks, sold really well worldwide with expats. Class. And then the bobble hats sold out We had bobble hats that we thought would last us about 2 months, and they sold out within about 3 days. And then at the same time, the sort of Suez Canal debacle was going on,
Jesus, yeah.
and one of our styles of bobble hats we couldn't get for 2.5 months anywhere in the UK. Nobody had them. We phoned everybody, so we did. We're even phoning other companies that sold them that would technically be our rivals and going, can we buy some of you? And nobody sold them. So, do you know what? Our range, our sort of launch range is really diverse. The Charlie Don't Surf t-shirt sold really well with loads of different colours. One of the things we do is we don't do unisex t-shirts. So we have male t-shirts and female t-shirts, and the female t-shirts can come in round neck or v-neck. And then I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I was like, everything we're doing, we should be doing for the little ones as well. So we launched our kids range as well, which has gone down an absolute treat. The way we look at it is, you know, we're not Primark, our t-shirts aren't £2.50, but we are a definite independent small business equivalent to large international brands. So if you are looking items that are made locally, or if you're watching this on the other side of the world, if you're looking items made and designed and put together and packaged by 3 guys and their wives and girlfriend, you know, we're trying to build a dream, and that sounds really corny, but it's the same with you with the bar. We have something we've always wanted to do, and that's what we're working towards. And we've just recently got into retail as well, which is blowing our mind because we're still only a couple of months old, like, you know.
It's amazing, man. And so what does the future hold then for Rawee or Stuart Cullen or both?
We'll stick with Rawee because my life goes in a million different directions at 1,000,000 miles an hour. What does the future hold with Rawee? Retail is starting to take up now, which is really good. The White House in Portrush, which is part of Ulster Stores, has been absolutely amazing with us. They've worked really well with us. They put in a lovely order at the start, and they've actually put in a replenish order as well, because the stuff's selling well. We're in talks with various other outlets across Northern Ireland. Future next year, we'll do a, if we can get it past the wives, jump in the car, strap the surfboards to the roof, and go down through England and Scotland and Wales and go surfing. But, you know, do business trips to surf shops and skate shops. We have a couple of other things with our winter collection, autumn winter collection that we're working on at the moment for adults and kids, which will be coming out later in the year. We are moving into the production of something else that nobody else is doing at the moment, and launching that, which again is going to have a real nice local theme to it. And then on the August bank holiday weekend, at the end of August, we are planning something really big in Portrush, which I'm not going to tell you know about it, but I'm not going to tell you about it yet. But hopefully we'll be announcing that in the next week or two.
Awesome.
But that's going to be cracking, so it is.
Brilliant, man.
You know,
good stuff. Well, good luck with everything.
Exactly. So just to finish up then, because we have another guest coming in who won't be going out live, but who have we got coming up over the next couple of weeks?
We have got the ones that we've just filmed. They're put in the can. Is that what you guys say? We've got.
Do you know what? I've never said that. Never said that. But yeah, go on.
Paula McIntyre, as I said earlier, was brilliant. Brian Moore was brilliant. We're doing Ellen Yates here coming up now.
Yeah.
Who else have we done?
And who are the elusive ones that we want to get, and they're
like,
putting us off?
Without a doubt, anybody, if you feel like you want to come along and promote something or chat to us and have a beer with us, if you've got a link to Kelly's, if you feel like you want to come down for a chat, give us a shout.
Or if you know somebody that would be really good to come on. We do have lined up for later in the season, hopefully Ricky Martin, Andy Hill, couple of quite famous celebrities from Northern Ireland as well, potentially.
Yeah, and like as we widen the net, I think it will get, like there's some big characters we want to get involved, and for me it's more about the food and the drink element as well. Like I want people to start hearing from people globally, and like there's a guy I've been speaking to who is incredible, and if we can get him on board, it would be amazing. So, yeah, for me, the Tiki Sessions future-wise, keep her lit. Like, I mean, I'm enjoying it. My liver probably isn't enjoying it.
No.
But
tonight's not too bad actually because we're doing the live.
Yeah.
So the way we record the Tiki Sessions, this all the magic of online television is we record every sort of month and a half, and we do 2 nights back to back, and we record 3 people each night. So last night we had a break in between 2 people, where Ash just kept the cocktails coming. So it's a great night for us. It's good for us. We just get to chat to really interesting people.
Yeah, and it's been brilliant. So yeah, as I said earlier, guys, I really cannot stress how much we appreciate the likes, the shares, the comments. Keep them coming as much as possible. And if you're enjoying it, let us know. Let your friends know. And if you do know anybody that would be good here, drop us a line. Yeah. And we'll try and get them booked in. And also, with a selfless plug here, if you want to come down to the bar, give us a shout. We are on a journey in here with regards to the staff and stuff. We're all relatively new, and we just want to become like the go-to venue for locals and tourists in here, and we want to have a really cool vibe and just give people an awesome place to come to, which I think has been long lacking in the area.
It's a bit like we've talked about with a lot of people in the Tiki sessions about bringing people from outside of Northern Ireland into Northern Ireland, and they've all said from the moment they came the first time they would always come back. And what I would say to you guys, and I'm not biased in any way, shape or form, even though we do the Tiki sessions from here, but I was here on launch weekend and it is an awesome place. So come once, give it one go, and you will be back. Who do we need to thank for making the Tiki sessions happen? Because it's not just us two.
There's at least 2 absolute legends behind the scene, guys. Tyler and Damien, I have to say, like, you guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You work hard, and you basically pull me and Stuart into line and make us actually look half normal.
And I obviously my background is events and camera work and stuff like that, and it's great now because I walk in and just sit down at the bar and talk to you while Tyler and Damien look after everything else. So I just want to give them a shout out. So it's Damien Devaney Productions and Tyler Douglas Productions as well. Sorry, Damien, what's your multimedia? Damien Devaney Multimedia and Tyler Douglas Productions, okay? So check them out. Damien and Tyler do great things, from camera work to editing to promo videos to live streaming, which we're doing now, So what's next for us? We've got another Tiki session to record now.
One more to do, and then we'll probably do a few more in 5 weeks' time or so. We've reached out to quite a few people that hopefully will come in. If not, if you know anybody. As I say, thanks for the guys who've come along as well. Like the guys who've come so far. So like, oh God, I'm going to forget somebody. Claire and Alan and Alex and I don't know, everybody that's been in. I'm so sorry for forgetting names, but it's been awesome. We've really enjoyed it. Yous have enjoyed it, and I think that the people out there seem to enjoy it as well. So thank you.
Listen, our first ever live. As you can tell, we've really enjoyed it. We have another guest coming in to do a pre-record with us. I just want to say thanks so much to absolutely everybody. Same as Ash was saying. From my point of view, please, please, please like and share us. It'd be really good. If you do want to come on, or if you know anybody that wants to come on, just let us know and we'll get them on. There's also Darren Gardner. Darren Gardner is being cagey and has promised he was come on. So Darren, you always message me after a Tiki session goes out, and I was talking to you literally 10 minutes before you came in. So Darren needs to come on because that's a man with a lot of stories. Listen, everybody. Well, I actually met him in the street, so I did. But no, he doesn't answer his phone that often. But listen, everybody, thanks so much, and we will see you next week for another Tiki session. Cheers.